Okay, welcome to lab number 10 in our AZ-900 course. This time, we're going to, again, create a virtual machine, however, using PowerShell. All right, so PowerShell is this icon over here, Cloud Shell is this icon over here, that basically creates a temporary virtual machine for us, a very small one. It's just about enough for us to run some commands. And the cool thing here is that this is already authenticated in our Azure account. So we can basically run anything without having to do any extra authentication steps in here. Now, when we start off with Cloud Shell, we have the option of choosing either Bash, so a kind of a Unix or Linux-like environment, or PowerShell, which is a more Windows-like environment. I'm going to do PowerShell first, and then in the next lab, we're going to take a look at Bash as an option. And when we're using this kind of temporary VM, then of course all of the things that we store on a hard drive will get automatically deleted after some amount of inactivity. So to help with that, what we can do is actually mount a storage account that will then be saving those files of ours. And of course, a storage account requires a subscription, so I'm just going to use that one. And I want to create a storage account. And the resource group I want to use is a pre-existing one. The region, this should be somewhere close to you. The lab environment is near East US, so I'm going to use that one. Then, of course, our storage account needs to have a name. I'm just going to call it Cloud Shell, followed by my project number. And then we also have the possibility of using a file share here. So I'm just going to call that shell storage. The storage account name needs to be globally unique, whereas the file share name does not. So now this, of course, takes a while to deploy. And of course, in reality, we only need to do this once when we first start to use Cloud Shell. So it's fairly okay. Here we are. So it took a couple of minutes to create the file share for this, but now everything is in place. And we're going to create a new virtual machine using PowerShell. And I really like in PowerShell is the command completion functionality. So when we create something new, we start with the verb. So I'm going to create a new thing. And what we want to create is in Azure. So we start with AZ. And what we want to create is a VM. So this is the command, right? You can already see that it's giving us a couple of parameters that we should set up. So let's start with my name. Let's call it my VM PS, PS for PowerShell. We should probably define the resource group. And now this, it knows automatically. Right, because it can actually read what resource groups we have. For location, maybe East US is good. Let's try that one. Note I need to use hyphens here because it's two words. Then we could define the virtual network. It's going to be my VNet PS. Then the subnet name, it's going to be my subnet PS. Security group name, is going to be my network security group PowerShell. Public IP address name, right? Public IP name, my public IP PS. And then finally, as a security type, we're happy with just standard. Okay. So we are missing some parameters here, especially the username and password for the administrative user. We could have given those as command line arguments as well, but it's maybe better to not leave them in the command history, right? So we're just going to fill it in here separately. The user is going to be Azure user, and the password is going to be this thing. All right, and now it creates our resources. All right, now it has created it. And now if we go over to virtual machines, we should be able to see it here. Maybe if we put this a bit down. Yeah, there we go. That's our virtual machine right there. All right, so let's take a look at some other stuff we can do. So another command would be get AZ-VM. It sometimes has a bit of trouble with the rows if we're kind of resizing a lot. Let's see if this is better. So get AZ-VM. Name is my VMPS, right? And we want to know the status, and then we want to pipe that. I know it's here somewhere. Here. To format table, and let's add auto size as well. So that basically parses from a get AZ-VM, which has a similar kind of structure as what we see above here, only the status, right? So it gives us information about our VM in a table manner, but specifically the columns here are based on the status. Good. So it is running, as we can see. So we can also stop an instance from here. Right, stop AZ-VM. I'm gonna say again, just oops. Hyphen name. Oops. Difficult today. My VMPS, right? Asks us for the resource group name. That was my RGPS. And then do we really want to stop? Yes, we do. There we go. That succeeded. So now if we run the get VM status command again, we see that the power state is actually deallocated. We can also do that, of course, here. Portal, just refresh. You can see that it's been deallocated. Okay, let's get rid of this. Let's take a look at Azure Advisor here as well. Just looking for Advisor on the console. And then you can see kind of in general what kind of advisory there would be for our account here. So we got cost, security, reliability, performance, and operational excellence. We're not doing very well in any of these. We can just list these recommendations here just to kind of give us a idea of what types of recommendations there are. We can also actually download like this as a PDF or as a CSV kind of report for us, so that way we can then tell our bosses that how well we're doing. Also under monitoring, we can create alerts So if there is a change in these scores, then we could actually be alerted about that. But yeah, that's everything we got for you for this particular lab. Thanks for listening, and see you in the next one. Till then.